So whenever you go for like the topic for today's discussion for today's live stream is actually how to start preparing, how to start studying machine learning or artificial intelligence. How do you actually start doing that? Okay, how do you actually do that? Now the thing about artificial intelligence and machine learning is whenever you go for studying that, whenever you go for AI ML, it's a very normal thing for people to advise that please start studying only artificial intelligence or machine learning after you have solid foundations in mathematics. And what are the topics that you need to have a solid foundation in mathematics? Like mathematics is a vast subject. You don't need to have a solid foundation in all the topics of mathematics. There are three topics that you need to have a solid foundation in. One being linear algebra, the second one being probability and statistics, and the third being calculus and optimization. And you shall be using concepts from these three topics everywhere whenever you are going to study machine learning or AI. Now, which one to start studying from? It is a very normal thing for people to say that uh, yeah, it's a very normal thing for people to say whenever you go and ask, or whenever you go to a YouTube video and people ask you, hey, where do I actually start studying from? Start studying, which topic should I start studying when it comes to mathematics for machine learning? People say, okay, go for linear algebra right in the beginning. But as a student who has given his GATE DA exam previously, and my experiences as the entire channel or whatever the entire channel that I've created is everything about the mistakes that I don't want you to commit or do. I don't want you to follow or make whenever you're preparing for GATE DA examination this year or the years afterwards. Whoever is seeing this video, I don't want you to commit the mistakes that I did. So from my point of view, it is always good to start studying probability and statistics right in the beginning. I'm going to tell you why. Now, see, normally people start linear algebra, but why am I advising you to start from probability and statistics? Because yes, one thing about probability and statistics, the syllabus is huge, right? And one has to cover a lot of topics to actually gain some expertise in solving problems in probability and statistics. And there's also a good probability that you might not end up understanding that even after you put a lot of stress on it. But what's our target? Our target is to get a good rank. Our target is to get good marks to become a good machine learning engineer. Always remember, our target is not only to get a good marks or a good rank at the end of the year when I'm giving my GATE D exam. Our main target is to become a good machine learning engineer, to become a good intelligence engineer, or a person who is related to whatever field of AI. I want to become good in that. And for that, you need to have a solid foundation in mathematics. You always ask yourself, why are you giving this particular GATE TA exam? Are you giving it to only crack your exam? Then I would suggest you not to give this exam, because if you're giving this exam only to crack this particular exam, then you're not going to become a good artificial intelligence person. You will not understand AI. You won't be interested in AI, because as soon as, even if you miss by mistake, if you qualify this particular exam and you end up in a good college, you will not become a good AI engineer. Always study AI if you're interested in it. If you are not interested in it, if you are jumping into it only because everyone else is doing that, don't get into that rat race. Please do not. Because those people, I do have a lot of people I talk to. I even I even know a person who got an all India rank second this year. Not personally, but I have seen that person's posts on Reddit. That person has specifically advised that only go for GATE DA exam if you are good in mathematics, if understanding AI actually suits you, if it interests you. If not, do not go for this exam. Please do not. It's never about the money. It's never about the good seat or the good rank. It is about how good you are in that syllabus. And always remember, we are engineering students. The first thing that we do as engineering students is the first thing that you do as an engineering student is to go through the movie Three Idiots. For us, the movie Three Idiots should be like eating Maggie, as common as eating Maggie. And the first lesson that Baba Ranchhod Das taught us, कि मेहनत करो बेटा, सक्सेस झक मार के पीछे आएगा, ठीक है ना? पहले एक्सीलेंस के पीछे भागो, सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो. रन आफ्टर एक्सीलेंस, नॉट सक्सेस, राइट? Success will follow you, success will walk to you. So that's what exactly you have to do. Now, why am I asking? Now, getting back, we actually digress from this topic. Why should you study probability and statistics? You should study probability and statistics. One, it has a lot of topics that you have to cover. Two, it takes a lot of time to cover those topics. It takes a lot of time for your brain to register those topics, because you cannot practice questions until your brain has been your brain has is registered or at par at the same frequency with those topics. If it is not, then you won't be able to answer or go through any questions or even understand how to apply your concepts. You might understand the concepts, you might not be able to apply them. So that is the second reason. And third, probability and statistics is a tough subject. It is a tough topic. It does not follow common sense. You cannot use your intuition to solve problems in probability and statistics. Never use your common sense or intuition to do probability and statistics. Never. That is going to be my first advice for this particular topic. All you can do is practice, practice, and practice. That is the only way you can study that. Now, why am I told you why we should be studying probability and statistics. So no, yes, it is very normal for people to start from linear algebra, but I would never advise that. I would advise to start from probability and statistics, because it is not about the syllabus or the topics one has to cover, but it is about the fact that understanding the topics takes a lot of time. One has to let those concepts sink in, and that can't be done under stress. If you decide that you shall be studying probability and statistics towards the end, like towards September, October, November, and always remember that you have to finish your gate syllabus by the end of November. Max to max, you can stretch it to the first or second week of December, but that is emergency. Never stretch it beyond November. Try not to do that. Yes. Now, whenever you reach months of October, September, October, November, you start falling under stress, and it is not a good idea to study a topic like probability and statistics under stress. So it's good to start right from the beginning. You can study linear algebra and calculus under stress, because all of that requires only concepts, or only concepts. Linear algebra and calculus only has concepts that you need to understand very carefully and practice. Probability and statistics is not just concept and practice. There is a hell lot of things about it, and that is the reason why I am going to advise you to start from there. Now, where do you actually study from? Let's discuss the lectures. Now, let's discuss the lecture resources, right? Now, when we come to lecture resources, I'm going to discuss two kinds of lecture resources. The first one being for those people who are comfortable in studying or understanding the lectures in English. They have no problem. They're very fluent in understanding English lectures, and there's no problem with that. And the second type of lectures I shall be suggesting you are those who have no problem in understanding lectures in Hindi. Yeah. So the first playlist that I shall be discussing with you is the Stanford CS 109 playlist, right? The Stanford CS 109 playlist, best for those people who want to use or are comfortable in studying lectures using the English language, who are good in studying using that. So if you're very fluent using the English language and you want to study probability and statistics, and you have no problem in understanding lectures through in English, Stanford CS 109 lectures playlist is going to be the very best one for you. Yes, the lectures are very long. Yes, this entire playlist consists of 29 videos, but if your target is understanding each and every concept in probability and statistics, you must go through this. Yes, I understand problems like, yeah, this video, like if you are going to ask me like Shapath, the video is 1 hour 14 minutes 11 seconds long. That's true, but a lot of time a video that takes about 1 hour, for me it is a day. And it's actually the same case for me as well. For example, the first video, it took me probably it took me about a week to complete this entire lecture. I gave an hour every day for this part to understand each and every lecture. What's going to be beneficial for you is you do not have to create notes. You only have to create rough notes for it, because I shall be providing you the soft copies of those notes. I shall be giving you the notes that I had written for these lectures. So no problem with that. If you want the lectures, if you want the slides of the lectures that this particular Professor Chris Peach uses, you can find it on the internet. It's available on the internet online. Everything is available for free. If you still want me to tell you where it is located, you can always ask me down in the comment section and I'm going to tell you that. But yes, if you want to understand concepts of probability and statistics, it is going to take a lot of time. Probability is going to take you about 3 months. The first 3 months are going to take for about studying probability and statistics. So, and that's for the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is it's going to take 3 months. The best case scenario is if you put proper pressure on it, if you study religiously every day, it's going to take you about 1.5 months to complete this playlist, and that is a guarantee. The next playlist that I'm going to tell you, that I want you to go through, is this one. This is the second thing. Not my first choice. This is the second choice. Second choice for which kind of people? The first playlist that I told you is for those people who do not have any foundation in probability and statistics, who have hunger to go through these particular playlists right from the to understand the concepts of probability and statistics right from scratch. If you are that kind of person, go to Chris Preach's lectures, go to the Stanford CS 109 lecture series. If you are a person who has some underground knowledge of probability and statistics and doesn't want to waste time in 1 hour long, more 2 hour long lectures, then you can always go for this particular playlist by Statistics 110 by Professor Joseph Blitzstein, from Harvard University. Yes, the picture quality is a bit odd, but it is helpful at the end of the day. You might not find all the concepts clearly explained to you, but as I said to you, those people who already have a foundational basis, who also already have some foundations covered in the topic of probability and statistics, they can always go for Statistics 110. The next playlist that I'm going to suggest you is going to be probably Statistics by Professor Leonard, right? Yeah, this particular playlist, Statistics by Professor Leonard. The same thing, a bit good in picture quality, teaches very slowly, it's good for understanding. You can try this out too. And whatever I'm telling, the order in which I'm telling is according to my preference, right? So choose accordingly. If you like, I'm the only thing that I'm going to help you out is, yeah, okay, there's also a playlist by Steve Burton, Probability and Statistics. You can go for that too. You can find it out in his channel, in the Steve Brunton channel. The entire playlist for probability and statistics, who like teachers who use different colors when they're explaining things, when they're explaining concepts, you can go for that too. And finally, there's also another playlist known as the MIT RES 6012. I don't remember the name. Yeah, this one, MIT RES 6012. This is also a good playlist. If you want to, you can go for this playlist as well. Now, if you are a person who is not comfortable in English, and who wants to study probability and statistics, from a teacher who teaches you in the Hindi language, for okay, so if you want to study probability and statistics, and if you are comfortable in Hindi, then I'm going to suggest you this particular playlist, right? What is this particular the playlist from Khurana sir? Khurana sir's playlist is the best thing that you always would be helping you whenever you want to study, or those brothers and sisters of mine who are actually preparing for GATE computer science. Most of them would actually know who Khurana sir is, because his entire playlist is dedicated to studying topics from GATE computer science, any topic that you want. Now, there's a good advice. Those people who have no language problem, who are okay with learning in both English and in Hindi, they have no problem in understanding lectures in Hindi. It's always a good thing to complete the discrete mathematics playlist from Khurana sir's lecture series all the time. It is always a good thing. Why? I'm going to tell you. because Khurana sir's discrete mathematics playlist consists of topics like set theory, which is going to help you in understanding relations and functions in calculus and optimization. Set theory playlist, which is the first part of discrete. Set theory is actually the first part of the discrete mathematics playlist of Khurana sir. So set theory, as I said, will not only help you understand the relations and functions when you are going to study calculus and optimization, it is also going to help you study probability and statistics. Then comes combinatorics and discrete probability, which is going to help you in understanding probability and statistics for machine learning, artificial intelligence. And then you are going to end up with graph theory. Graph theory is something that is very important to understand if you want to understand TSA, because a lot of questions in data structures and algorithms come from graph theory. So it is always a good advice to complete this particular playlist. Where is it? Yeah, no, not this one. Anyways, I hope that you can find it out. It is exactly, yeah, this one, this playlist. It consists of three. I agree. It consists of 320 videos, but just for the sake of understanding all the concepts, it is very important to finish this particular playlist. Now, what are the playlists I was talking to you about? When you want to study probability and statistics and you want to study it in the Hindi language, if you अगर आपको सीखना है मतलब हिंदी हिंदी में आपको लेक्चर्स सारे के सारे सुनने हैं, तो आपको करना क्या पड़ेगा? पहले आपको स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा कॉम्बिनेटोरिक्स के प्लेलिस्ट से, राइट? ओ हाँ, आई फॉरगॉट टू टेल यू, डिस्क्रीट मैथमेटिक्स में एक और एक प्लेलिस्ट है जिसका नाम है लॉजिक. लॉजिक इज अ सब्जेक्ट दैट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, क्योंकि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस जो सब्जेक्ट है गेट डीए में, मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस कम फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक, लॉजिक एंड proposition. So yeah, that's the reason why I told you that discrete mathematics is a very important thing that you need to understand. I forgot to tell you. Okay, yeah. So those who want to study probability and statistics lectures in Hindi, combinatorics is going to always study from this particular playlist. Combinatorics from discrete maths, very important. Complete this entire playlist, then go to the other playlist known as probability theory. Yeah. Yeah, you also need to finish this particular playlist as well. The generating functions is something that is also going to be asked under probability and statistics, so always remember to complete this particular playlist as well. But where are you going to start from? You're going to start from this particular playlist consisting of combinatorics from discrete mathematics, consisting of 69 videos, right? Then you are going to go to probability theory. Yeah, discrete probability, this particular playlist. Complete this playlist right after that, and after you have finished with discrete probability, end up with finished with generating functions, you will still see that there are some topics that Khurana sir has not taught and have been included in the probability and statistics syllabus of data science and artificial intelligence. Where do you do it from? I'm going to tell you why.